everyone, and welcome to Pocketful of English with Miss Ina. Finally, the day has come for us to learn the last type of conditionals, and that is the third conditional. How is it different from the other types? Well, with first and second conditionals, we talk about the future. With the third conditional, we talk about the past. We talk about a condition in the past that did not happen. Before we discuss more about type 3 conditional, I have a reminder for you. There's a short quiz at the end of the lesson, so you have to be ready. Time to learn! Let's get started.
Conditionals. Focus on third conditional. What are conditionals? Conditionals describe the result of a certain condition. Conditionals describe the result of something that might happen in the present or future, or might have happened but didn't in the past. Conditionals are made using different verb tenses. Conditionals are also called if conditionals. Conditional sentences are made up of an if clause and a main clause. The if clause tells the condition. The main clause tells the result. The order of the clauses does not change the meaning. There are four main types of conditionals: zero conditional, first conditional, second conditional, and third conditional. Let's focus on third conditional. The third conditional refers to something unrealistic in the past. We use the third conditional to talk about something in the past that did not happen. The third conditional is used to express regret and talk about things we wish we could change about the past, but we can't. The third conditional is also like a dream, but with no possibility of the dream coming true. In third conditional sentences, we follow this structure. We use the past perfect tense in the if clause. We use would have plus past participle in the main clause. Let's look at the following examples of third conditional sentences when the if clause comes first. If I had studied harder, I would have passed my exam. We use past perfect tense had studied in the if clause. We use would have plus past participle past in the main clause. Remember, use a comma after the if clause when the if clause precedes or goes before the main clause. If Jason had recharged the batteries, he would have had enough power for his laptop. We use past perfect tense had recharged in the if clause. We use would have plus past participle had in the main clause. Don't forget, use a comma after the if clause when the if clause precedes or goes before the main clause. Let's look at the following examples of third conditional sentences when the main clause comes first. Carissa would have joined us if she had received an invitation. We use would have plus past participle joined in the main clause. We use the past perfect tense had received in the if clause. Remember, if the main clause precedes or goes before the if clause, no punctuation is necessary. Brian would have called her if he had known that she was in town. We use would have plus past participle called in the main clause. We use the past perfect tense had known in the if clause. Remember, if the main clause precedes or goes before the if clause, no punctuation is necessary. Here are some additional points. We can use other modals instead of would in the third conditional. We can use might, which means not very sure. Could, which means it's possible. And should to give a suggestion. For example, Marlon could have helped me if he had stayed later. If they had told me, I might have been able to help. The word would is often contracted to apostrophe D by native speakers. It is also acceptable to use this in informal writing. We can also use apostrophe D for had. For example, if I had seen Jacob, I would have asked him to come over. We can say it this way. If I'd seen Jacob, I'd have asked him to come over. We can use negatives in third conditional to talk about things that happened in the past. For example, if I had known that you had a test today, I wouldn't have let you go to the concert. Mr. Wilson wouldn't have missed the bus if he hadn't overslept. Before we end our lesson, don't forget this. The if clause tells a hypothetical condition. The main clause tells a possible result. We use the past perfect tense in the if clause. We use would have plus past participle in the main clause. Quiz time! Complete the third conditional sentences by putting the verbs into the correct form. Time to check the answers. How many correct answers did you get? Good job, everyone!
Thanks everyone for joining me in today's lesson. Keep learning English the easy way with me. See you again next time. Bye!